y'all doing?
Hi, everybody. I'm John Zidar, and that's LilyStar, and we are here to discuss stocks that you want to talk about. We talk about the stocks we want all week, so we're here to talk about stocks that you may have found through the week, hint, hint, or we'll talk about stocks that you've got on your watch list. But as I say over and over, we're not miracle workers here. We can only share what we find. We're not doing a deep dive. So if you haven't seen light at the end of the tunnel on your stock, chances are we're not going to find it either. I'm sorry. I know I'm a wizard, but that's sort of magic I just haven't figured out yet. All right, I'm going to throw up that news as we normally do here. Oh, of course I just took it off, you big boob.
It was right there, John. I saw it.
I know. And now it's not coming up the right way. Doggone it. All right. I'm going to have to do this the hard way here. How did that happen? No, that's not what I wanted either. Now it's not giving me my browser. So I'm going to have to do that tunnel vision for you guys. I don't mean to.
No.
Yeah, I know. It's disgusting. All right. Where are we at? Right there.
There we go.
Coming up. Ta-da. What timing is that? For those of you who don't know, this is just news that I've looked at over the last 8 days, OTC penny stock news. This all comes from the OTCmarkets.com website. I do not go searching for my news anywhere except that site. Comes in through the day as it's released. Really makes it easy. And there's no news in here like financial results or public offerings, anything like that. This is the juicy stuff, mergers, acquisitions, uplistings, stuff like that. So I've got to say, I'm a little disappointed here. I mean, the market's been stinky. I'm disappointed in a lot of arenas. But, you know, it was, 3 months ago, maybe 4, I got all excited about warrants with these SPACs. We were seeing runs of thousands of percent, tens of thousands percent in a day. What happened? I mean, as soon as we started talking about it, dark clouds came in, and we're lucky to see a warrant hit 100% now. I'm sitting on 16 warrants that are always SPACs that have deals in the midst, just nothing going on. So for those of you who got in with me, warrant should have been a hot continual play. I don't know. The volume is affecting everything on the market, everything. And the volume is dropping across the board. So I'm holding them not because I think they are going to be great in the future. I'm still playing them now. I'm still waiting for those bounces. And if you're playing one that hasn't closed a deal yet, chances are it's going to bounce. So don't think I forgot about them or I'm avoiding them because something happened. I'm in there with you. I still have faith in a lot of them, but God, this has taken a long time, like a lot of other things.
And it really can with warrants. Even in a good market, it could take a long time, especially if you find a really good one or you think it might be a good one or it has potential. It has to do that build up and then finally spike, usually from the news.
All right, I do have a queue up here. We had people here before I got here, and boy, I got 4 of them, I think. That's great. I like that, folks. I appreciate you giving me a head start on some of these. I want to share one with you very quickly, and I'm actually surprised I'm sharing this with you because this is a stock I've laughed at a lot. This is HCMC. Now, if any of you know about this company, they are a health food store company. They've got 3 stores. They used to have a bunch of vapor stores. I think they sold those. Haven't been keeping up with them. Got their own line of vitamins. Big deal about them was they were suing Philip Morris for infringement on their iQOS device. And we haven't heard anything about this. And when that was going on, and I'm going to jump over there right now. You can see that? Yeah. All right. Yep. HCMC. HCMC. Nice try, homie. HCMC. Too many H's. This was going really hot a while ago. Of course it is. HCMC.
It's not working, John.
My God. You know,
take it back all the way. Take it back all the way.
All the way back to 3 years here. This is when she was really hot. This is back when she was talking. And this is, of course it is. This is February of 2021 when everybody got their stimulus checks. She didn't even need a catalyst to be running then. People had money and they were pulling on them slot machines. They found a ticker, wham, pulled down on that.
And that's when it was building up for this lawsuit as well. That is the time frame.
Yeah, and we had another run here. And what I wanted to show you is the volume. The volume here is incredible. That day right there was 74 billion shares. This big day here was 118 billion shares. Out, just enormous. Well, look how many shares she's got. 328 billion shares in the float. What? 328 billion. But why am I showing this to you? Because she's back in the news, folks. The federal courts actually gave her what she wanted. They have approved 2 of her complaints against Philip Morris. It is going forward. And they are suing, the last time I heard, was for $700 million. Now, I don't know if they can tie this up in court once it gets to a certain point. I don't know, but it is going forward. The other piece of news, right, I just remembered this too, is they are giving a dividend. They've got a lot of shares here. They are spinning out those 3 stores I was talking about now. I don't know if that's enough for a business, honestly, but they've got 3 natural food stores. I think they're all in Florida, and they're spinning that out onto the market. I don't know if it's the NASDAQ or the OTC, and they're going to be giving you a dividend, and they're doing it on a ratio of 1 share for every 71,000 shares of HCMC that you own. So the reason I think it's a big deal is because of the volume we saw back then. People got all excited when they heard about suing Philip Morris and getting all of this money. I never believed it. I thought to myself, look, Philip Morris could put 10 million in their lawyers' hands and say, tie this up for a year, 10 years. We're not going to give them $700 million.
They really could. Yeah.
So I just turned my back on it. Well, I don't know. Now the federal court says you've got merit. And if you look at the complaints, it looked like it. I don't mean to be mean to the man, but the complaints are very childish. They are not formal. They're not legalized. I mean, he writes stuff like, I told them not to sell my products, went back a month later, and they were still selling them. I want to sue. That's not a formal complaint. The bottom line is it has a huge following. My God, this has a huge following. And if people get excited again, you could see a tsunami. And this thing could start running. Now, in case you didn't notice, we get a high back here of 0065, and we're on the floor right now. 0001, 0002. So if she gets anywhere near that, I mean, at that price, $50 can turn into $500. Pretty bloody easy. You don't have to throw your house at this. It's just one of those things. You're just getting in with the lemmings. Just be in the back of the lemmings. Let the front lemmings go over the cliff. You be in the back.
Absolutely. And that's what I was noticing as well. You were talking about this one. Well, it is on the floor. So nothing's been missed here. Don't know if anything comes of this. More than likely, Philip Morris will either settle with them or they will keep them tied up in court and bankrupt them. One or the other. Or strike some kind of deal that they're happy. And that's it. So we might not get the same kind of action because we have a different type of market now. But if you start seeing volume come in, especially with that one, it takes a lot of volume to move that one because there's so many. There's so many shares. So if you see
like
that,
then okay. A locomotive with all the
it really is.
Cars attached to it.
It really is with toddlers. I mean, it's a lot.
All right,
what's next, John?
I do believe our next stock comes from Jerome. Do I get it? There we go. Jerome Horst wants us to look at AIXN. Completely unfamiliar with it. I've got it pulled up.
I think it's new. I was just looking at the chart and it might be 10 or 20 days old.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing.
Well, looking around, I'm going to start off with the catalyst because I normally highlight the catalyst first. And if I leave this page, I lose my highlight and I lose my brains.
Well, I see March 29th, just to help you out.
This S1, this came out yesterday. An S1 is when the company wants to move on to a major exchange. That's the form you have to file. So it's not just talk. Oh, we have plans on moving up to the major exchange. They filed. So right there it is. That's the intention. That's the catalyst. If she's starting to move now, whoa,
yes.
She fell.
Yeah, but if you look back 20 days and see what happened with that stock.
All right, let's see what we got going here. First off, they're providing nutritional products in China. That's a huge market. Even a small success in China is huge compared to ours, and operates a hotel and a chain of pharmacies in Sichuan province. So that's what they do. Share structure on this company isn't too bad. It's going to be under 24 million. Financials, I'm going to expect this company's making some money. They are, but not as much as I was expecting. 3 million at the end of 2021 and $1.5 million so far for 2022. And this financial is due right now. So at the rate they're going here, unless there was some huge news about some deal that was going on, I don't see why it would jump. What year is that? 2021, and we've got no news available here. So the only catalyst I see is that they have intentions now, serious intentions, plans of going up onto the major exchange. You want to know which one, some more information, jump into that filing. But I'm surprised to see that today, with the news coming out yesterday, it fell 44%. Wow.
That's because they took it all yesterday.
And by the way, Jerome, that ain't a penny stock, my friend. But bygones be bygones. All right, go ahead.
But it was, John. And it is on from what I'm seeing, it is on the OTC right now. So here we go. Right here, this is, as far as I can go back, it's March 29th. So we started at $1.56, ran up to 11.01 is the top right here. And so, yes, it did give a lot back, but that's an incredible movement since the end of March. We're talking a couple of weeks here. So if I go to the 5-day, 5-minute, we had a huge spike. Let's actually see what happened. I don't know if the 1 day will show me. Yeah, it pretty much happened yesterday with that news, and then it dropped off today. But it's still in the trend. And the problem is with this trend, we don't have much data because this chart only goes back to March 29th.
Yeah, so that's strange because I don't see any filings. I don't see any news. No, I'm checking now to see if they changed their symbol change.
There we go. That helps. What was it?
Yeah, but it wasn't that big of a change. You know, all they do is throw that D on the end when they change a name, a share structure, and then they take the D away. That's all it was.
Well, I'm just wondering, did it have a D on it before?
It's been back and forth with that D. It's gone through changes 4 times through the last 3 years.
I'm going to add the D to it and see what it looks like.
Yeah, because it's had the D half the time it's been on the market.
Now we see a 6-month chart. Is this Annex Life International? Is that it? Annex Life International? Is that the same?
Yes, it is.
I hate it when they do that and don't show the original chart. But here you go.
Every ticker, folks, gets its own chart. So if you're wondering why you don't see stuff, you got to go find it. And you see where you didn't see because you were looking at the chart. But you can get that on the OTC. They tell you what the ticker was when.
This looks awful before it. Yeah, I can't get that close. But the 6 months, definitely in a downtrend, hit around $2. And you saw after the ticker symbol change, it was $1.56 or so, and it ran up to an 11. It was just a run. And it could have been from that S1 news, and then it sold it right off. Done. It's still in the trend. I would keep an eye on it because it could hold up in this $5 range, $6 range, and come back up. But right now, it's probably going to cool off because what other news is coming right now? It's going to take a little while.
Now, I'm a little different here. Me and Lily don't always see things eye to eye. I'm looking at that chart, and what I see is what I pointed out the other day. It's very symmetrical. You see that things are landing in the center. Now, where is it? Is it at the bottom of that square right now, or is it at the top? That last bar you got there.
It's at the bottom.
Okay. I think you just scrolled your chart because all I saw was that huge doji right there. I don't like seeing that either. I don't like that.
But I want to see what's going to happen. And I'm willing to sit back and wait a day or two and see how this regroups. Is it going to consolidate, keep on, or is it just going to fall right out? Go back down to that dollar range.
Best case scenario, it's where it needs to be to bounce. If you get your confirmation, you get a couple green bars coming off of that bottom channel mark. That's probably going to ride back up to the top.
It could. Or it could fall out completely. And if it does that, you're not interested. So watch that. Watch the volume on it. Back to you, John.
All right. Sorry about that.
Sorry.
Okay, our next one comes from Belmore. All right, Belmore.
Hi, Belmore.
I talked about a stock Velmore brought to our attention last week, HCNWF. I found out that I didn't know about that stock because I got a glitch. You all got a glitch on TOS, Thinkorswim. When you do a search, it only reaches 2,000 stocks down from the letter A and up from the letter Z. Well, we found out that I was only going down to G and up to M. So everything in the middle, I was never seeing. Never came up this stock.
Wow.
And it was running for 4 days. So when I looked at it, it had come down, but there was so much heat left in it, and it took off on Monday. I told everyone to get out by 10. Sorry if that bothered you. You did get some good gains by 10 in the morning, but she kept going. Wow, she just shot up, and then she cooled back off. So pay attention to what Velmore brings us. She's not fooling around.
Oh, we looked it over, and it looked beautiful. It's falling out now, but it did look good.
Yeah, well, that's what trading's about, catching it when it's hot.
And we appreciate those. That's what we want.
All right, I am going to look at this warrant because we were just talking about warrants. CXAIW. This is CX app. What I realized about this was they just finished a business combination through a SPAC. They came through Kins Technology Group, and they just closed that on the 14th of last month. So they've only got probably a month on the chart right now. Ticker CXAIW. Now it's funny. Let's see here. Is this right? All right. So they have changed the ticker for the warrant, but it doesn't look like that. I can't believe that Kins is going to remain for their company stock. I'm sure that's going to change to the same as the warrant. The warrants run because of news on the company. The warrants are just coupons that you can use to buy shares in the future at a discounted price. So if you hang on to them for a while, you can cash them in with just a few dollars and buy a stock worth a lot more, and you got instant profit. So we were looking at the reason I think she's running. She just had an investment here about a week ago from BlackRock.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they're a huge investment house, a hedge fund maybe. They bought enough shares, about 80. I can't see the number here. There it is. I think it's like 84 million shares, if I'm reading that right. And they got themselves just about 10% of the company. And that's the only thing I can really see over here that could be causing it to run. They're not going to have any financials available yet, right? They just got it. News, there's nothing there in the news. Share structure. That's because everything's changing, because the tickers right now, we've got this ticker change, but not the real ticker. They're still in process here, so we're not getting all the information. So as far as I can see, the fact that she has just gotten done with her merger and BlackRock is now invested in her after the fact, these are positive signs. Whether it's enough to get a surge out of her, that really depends on how the chart's set up, because even a little catalyst can make a warm chart move. But a big catalyst on a cold chart, cross your fingers, maybe. So what does CXAIW look like?
Well, this is just the last 5 days, John. We have a lot of movement here. It went from 0.0222, so 2 cents pretty much, and it hit 18 cents right here at the high. And that was today. So it's selling off a little bit, but very much still in the channel. So it's looking really good. And I do think it's because of the BlackRock investment, because I can only see a month, like you were saying. But if you go back, it's just totally flat line. Like it was just consolidating and kind of going down, no big deal. And then boom. So I do think it was that news.
There was nothing else to wait for except the closing. So that's what everybody was doing.
Yep, and it's definitely in the channel. This is a good one. I do like the fact that BlackRock's invested in it. I'm not sure what the company is or what they do, so I check into that.
Right.
But and I would like to see what the price is of the actual stock, not just the warrant, the stock on the NASDAQ, because it's a NASDAQ stock.
I think that was $7.95. The ticker is KI.
Oh, perfect.
Z.
So KINZ.
I think so. Kins, like they're my relations.
I don't see it. It won't let me see it.
Try that. Oh, is it already gone?
There's a unit. Nope, it's not there either. Yeah, I don't see it.
Well, try the regular ticker without the W on the end. See if they've converted it yet, and it just isn't caught up on the OTC. Just take that W off the end.
All right, hold on just a second.
Tickers
Take
can
that.
be a real pain in the butt
Take that
chasing your stock around.
W off. There we go. So it hit 973. Not bad.
Okay. Right. So we do have a new ticker. They just haven't updated it on the OTC yet.
Not bad. And it was in breakout mode.
Wow.
It's trying to test that again. I don't look for it. It'll probably cool off a little bit, but that was a nice run. So I like that price though. I like that it's not a stock, you know, when the small caps, it's sitting at like $1, right above the dollar range. I like that it's had some movement.
Lily, was this $10? Is this a $10 spec that fell all the way down to $1?
I'll have to go back and see. I can only see to March 15th of this year, so I don't know. It was at 7 then, so no 4.
And it's actually broke 4 now.
Oh yeah, but it was at 4 something. It came down to $1 something, $1.20, $1.60. But I can only go back as far as March the 15th. So I don't know, but it looks nice, and I look for it to cool off a little bit. I think it's going to have some trouble keeping that up unless there's more news to come out, like the run is done. But keep an eye on it. You never know. Right here in this area, when it starts consolidating around the 10-cent area, 11-cent area, it might pick back up. Keep an eye on it. Very nice. Belmore always finds the interesting ones, right?
All right, we got a stock here from, who did this one come
Brian?
from? Brian?
Brian.
No, we are still looking at Belmore. Oh, we are? Belmore. I love you, honey, so I'm going to give you 2 here. Cost. I think.
All right, we'll get to you, Brian. We'll get to you.
Kiosk is probably short for kiosk. I see that they made a deal at the end of last year. One Step Vending Corp announces a memorandum of understanding with Cannabox Inc. They're making vending machines to sell cannabis and CBD products. Now, when I read this, they didn't mention anything about validation, being able to verify that a person's over 18 years old. They didn't talk about any of that. They just talked about their payment facilities and how it's all automated and you don't need any people. So I don't know to what extent that they go. Let's see what we got here for share structure. I'm going to guess it's between 150 and 182 million. Financials for the company, I don't think they're making anything yet. So hopefully they get some kiosks out there because they need to get some money coming in. On their SEC filings, we have nothing since 2011. And I don't think there was anything else to look at. We can see what the volume was around her today. Well, she had an increase in volume, a huge one, going from 91,000 to 2.1 million. That's like 20 times her normal volume. So there was some attention being paid to it today without any real catalyst. I mean, we haven't had anything for 3-4 months now. So why she actually jumped? Maybe they've got a Twitter account and tweeted something. Maybe somebody saw a vending machine and bought something. I don't know. What does the chart look like? I mean, God.
I'm fixing to pull it up for you, John. Give me just a second. I got to get back to your screen. There we go. All right. So this is just the last 5 days. Definitely had a move running from 0.0036 to a high of 0.0085. And now it kind of flatlined right now. So, but what I want to show, because this is nice movement, but I want to go back further to your 4-hour last 6 months. Overall, we're in a downtrend. And as you can see, I'll bring you closer.
There's our breakout.
It's trying. Yeah, it's trying, but it's getting rejected here. So I look for it to be problematic. And I look for it to cool down and come back to reconsolidate and try again, or either that or the move's over and the downtrend continues. But you do see where it touched and it tried to break out, but it could not hold it. There's not enough volume.
A lot of enthusiasm there. You got very big bars. She is pushing further through that channel than she's ever pushed before, showing a lot of eagerness to be that direction. So I think there's more going on upwards than downwards. I mean, you got to watch bounces, but I think she's got something going here. And what was her high there?
Oh, the high is 0.014. Is that 14 cents? Yeah. So 14 cents. And this is on the OTC for cost.
So we're about halfway home.
So, yeah. So we went from we were in the double zeros, 2.5 before that run started. That's a nice gain
we're
there.
At 7 cents. So
yeah. sitting at 7, and it's like it's trying, but you do see the downtrend movement here. So there's a resistance here. It's going to have to get over that and make a new channel. I think it's not going to happen in a day, I don't believe, unless this news is huge, and I don't see that yet. So, but it was a nice day for it. Nice few days.
Very nice.
See, very nice few days there. So watch this area and see what's going to happen. That was a good one.
Jumping over to ARDS. There he is, ARDS. This comes from, oh, brother. Is this Brian?
Yeah.
I like the harmony there.
I got him pulled up. It's Brian. Hi, Brian.
Artis Pharmaceuticals finished today at 23 cents with 4.5% gains. Oh, God. This is a NASDAQ stock under $1. My first concern, and I didn't check this, is you look for an 8K, and you never know which 8K it's going to be. The chart will tell you if you don't want to go diving through all these. But if you're under $1 for too long, they'll yank you off the major exchange and throw you down to the OTC. And that never helps the price. I mean, you'll get volatility out of that. It's a great play while it's falling, but it's not good for investors. We do have a 8K here that came out very recently, just at the end of last month. There it is. Bam, hit the nail on the head. They got a notice from the NASDAQ that they've been under $1 for 30 days.
They say it started around the beginning of the year. You could tell if it lost $1.
Well, it's saying here that I saw one the other day. 6 weeks was all they gave them. You were under $1 for 6 weeks. Now you got 6 months. This one says that they were under, well, they got a couple different things here. They have a minimum, some price here. I can't figure out what this is. They got lots of minimums on the major exchange. They got to have a number of shares, a number of directors.
Oh, yeah.
They have so much equity, so much market cap, so much price per share. I mean, everything. And they're not cutting it here. So they've been given 180 days or until, or until March 28th, 2023.
That's
that's in the past. Yeah,
I don't know what happened.
That can't be right. Let me see. Informed the company that it had not regained compliance with the rule and that its securities will be delisted from the NASDAQ April 10th.
Well, it's April 13th.
And it's still on the NASDAQ.
It's still on the NASDAQ.
Oh,
I'm looking at it. So
this isn't looking good. Something's delayed here. It's bad news. It's like they're teetering on the edge, and then you're going to have that bird land on the hood, and that's it. They're down. So I don't know what's going on here. They obviously did not get this price up in time. They've been told they're coming down to the OTC. Well, off the NASDAQ. I don't know where else you go but the OTC. And I didn't see any catalysts here. Was there any news? I kind of got sidetracked there. Yeah, we did have something here I wanted to look at. Not that one. Not that one. That one. Oh, more bad news. God.
Oh, no.
Yes. The company received written notice from the MedImmune Limited terminating a certain license covering their drug AR320, which was currently just starting their phase 3 clinical trial.
No.
Artis has been placed. The phase 3 clinical trial has been put on hold, so they've stopped it. The only good news we got coming out of this is that the company's operating expenses have significantly been dropped since they've quit the trial, but they're making no headway. That's like saying, oh, I'm saving money on gas. I'm stuck over here. I got a flat tire. That's not good. The company expects to receive feedback from the FDA and EMA on the second phase 3 study design for AR301 by the end of April. So we've got 2 weeks before we might hear some good news here. So I don't see any reason why this is going up. The last company had good news and went down.
It's not going up. It's not.
This one isn't going up?
No, this chart's ugly.
Okay, show it to me, because all I see is 4.5 and a lot of bad news.
So this is your 4-hour chart, last 6 months, but as you can see the overall downtrend. It really struggled right here. This is your dollar range right here. So it more likely it didn't stay above it for as long as it needed to, so it didn't count. If that's the case, then you've been in this under $1, gosh, since October of last year. Maybe further. Anyway, let's get closer just to see what more recently
Yeah,
what's
that's a
happened.
big M you got there in the middle of the board.
Yeah, I
That M
don't
is for
like it. It's
murder.
just ugly, ugly, ugly. So last 20 days, your 1 hour chart downtrend, total downtrend. We might be like trying to consolidate right here in this 20 cents area, but nothing in the news that John just spoke about gives me the warm and fuzzies about this one at all. There's too much going on. I don't like it under $1. There's a lot of risk here. And it's already said it's supposed to be delisted. What happened? Not sure about that. I would not play this one until I knew what happened with that.
Yeah, let's just say she's got a deeper floor.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, probably
Absolutely.
back where that low bubble's at. You can probably watch for her to go because she's got a lot of bad news. She's already got a floor designated. I would look for that to be the floor. She goes worse than that. Sorry.
Yeah, that's 15 cents right there. So, and that could have been before they said they were going to, delist. I don't know. This is on April 3rd, so 10 days ago. And so I'm not sure what's going to happen with it, but I would know what they have told them, what the SEC has told them, what's going to happen. I would not want to get caught in that. Like if it delists the OTC or if they decide to do a reverse split, whatever's happening, I wouldn't want to be in it. All right, back to you, John.
We've got somebody here who's interested in HCNWF. We mentioned that briefly. This was a stock that Belmore brought to our attention last week on Thursday.
Yes.
It was hot. She brought it to our attention after it had been running for 3 days.
It was hot.
It was really cooking. Hypercharge Networks puts out electric chargers in Canada and the United States. They just came on the market January 6th. They've been making deals to do this since April of last year. December was the very first charger they got out. But now they've literally got thousands out. And they've got lots of deals going on right now. They've got a deal for 128 chargers, a deal for 748 chargers. They're outfitting Czech Media. They're outfitting Overa Group. They're doing a lot. And they just got their first roaming agreement. Now, you've got to understand these roaming agreements are huge. This is how phone companies got started. Little companies hooked up with other companies so they could share networks. It brings the cost down and it increases your customer base. And that's what they've done here. They've gone with Electric Circuit, which has already got over 4,250 in their circuit. And they're doing that with others as well. There was one thing I did want to point out about this company. What was that? Was it the investors? No investors. I can't remember. I think I'm missing something here. But in either case, the company has got lots of revenues coming in. They've got lots of deals. I think their assets were really strong. Let's check that out. I think that's
you're right.
Quarterly. All right. At the end of 2022, they had 369,000. They jumped from 2,000 to 54 to 293 to 911. And this one is due right now. And if I remember correctly, no, it's not there. It's due right now. They're financial. And they've all been growing. And they've got so many contracts. They're doing so much. We expect a bigger one. So I expected this thing to run again. Now, I didn't get to this. She showed it to us on Thursday. I didn't actually talk about it until Saturday. And that's when I put out the video.
We did talk about it on Thursday.
Yeah, and she did a lot of shares. She has not done anything close to a million shares until the 3rd. Then she did 11 million, 12 million. Then she did 16 million on Wednesday, 7 million on Thursday, 10 million on Friday. I said, folks, this is hot. Watch
what was so funny about it, what was so great about it, and Belmore bringing it to us, we talked about this on the 5th. And right when we were talking about it, I was telling everybody that, I loved it. I loved the way it looked, but it was right in the place. If it's going to continue, this is where you'd want to pick it up. So absolutely grand slam there. It was beautiful.
Go ahead and bring up that chart. I remember this chart. It's a beauty. Finally, one you can sink your teeth into.
Exactly. So this right here is the 5th. This is where we were talking about it that afternoon, right here in this area. And then, that's a perfect area. You saw where it's respecting the trend lines. So there you go. And then bam, it went up to $4.50 before it sold back off. Now it's lost the trend since then. The move is over. But what a beauty that was.
Now you see that. Yeah. You see that the way it ended on Friday?
Friday's right here. The
Nope.
6th. Nope, right here. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, you see that what you're now look at the first mark in the aftermarket hours. That green little dash
Right here.
Yep. To me, I saw this as a perfect setup because that is symmetrical.
Right here.
Yep, it ended right in the middle of that fat doji, right in the middle. Even bars on each side. I said, this is the perfect placement. It's steady. It's got its balance. It wants to jump.
Yeah, it was beautiful. I mean, this is one
of the huge bounce. Now, I told everybody to get out at 10 in the morning just to be safe. Either way, you're going to get your gains. And you did if you got out at 10. But you probably got pissed when you saw it go another 300.
Yeah, but that was still a really good move. And there was a lot of pressure to sell right here. This bar right here, this little wick here, happened really fast. So either you were paying attention and got it here and got out and it actually sold, or you kind of, you probably got out in this area was more plausible, more feasible. Okay. So don't be mad if you didn't get the very top. That's okay. This was a beautiful chart, beautiful movement. It's one of the prettiest ones we've talked about in most recent months.
Yeah.
So I really like this one, but it's dropped out of the trend now. Not interested. Keep an eye on it though, because of news. Me and John both like their financials. So much improvement from, consistently, which is important. So it's a nice one. Back to you, John.
Thank you, Lily. We are now taking a look at a stock from Robert Ray.
Robert.
Hi, Bear Creek Mining, ticker BC, EKF. He was so kind to remind me that.
What a ticker.
He said, we've talked about this before. He says, I brought it up when it was at 49 cents. And it
must have been when Pookie was with y'all. I have nothing on this one.
I can't remember, but I talk about so few mining companies, and normally I will not talk about a mining company unless they've got something unique, something special, something hot, and I can't remember what this company had. So let's take a look at the news here. Bear Creek Mining, Marinos Rey de Oro. Oh, things are coming back to me. Mercedes Mining to produce 65,000 to 75,000 ounces of gold. That was back in February. Bear Creek Mining provides update on 25 million Equinox gold payment. They got money coming in. I see lots of money. I see lots of gold. This is all recent news here. There's a lot of stuff there. I'm not jumping into the news because it's going to get technical just like that, and I'm going to be looking stupid. Let's see what we got here. We've got no filings whatsoever. So obviously the news is what you've got to pay attention to here. Obviously these technical pieces of information make a difference. And if you understand mining, you're probably going to get more out of it than I do. But from January till now, it seems everything is being talked about this one mine, this Mercedes vein, and they seem to be bringing in a lot from 13,000 up to 65,000 and a payment of 25 million purchase price installment for the Mercedes gold mine. So I don't know if they're selling some of it, all of it, or this is an investment, but they got a lot of money coming in right now. But do they have any revenues? This is my concern. Surprise, surprise, surprise. We got money. Most of your mining companies are exploration. They need money, like research and development for a pharmaceutical company. So I kind of stay away from those. But when they're making money, normally they've tapped into something. And you can see it's a big jump. They've gone from 10 million to 26 million. However, that 10 million they made money from. This 26 million they lost money on.
Ouch.
That's not real good. Let's take a quick look at that balance sheet. Total assets, 279 million, and they got about 9.5 million in the bank, and they have 155 million in liabilities. So they're not top heavy. They are floating. Everything is okay in that sense, and they've got money coming in. And over here, folks, the more green ticks you see, the better the company is, the more quality information that is available. And the best thing you can find is this right here, penny stock exempt. Doesn't matter what the price is. Doesn't matter what market it's on. It could be 1 cent on the OTC. If it says penny stock exempt, it is not a penny stock. That means they're not risky. They've been in business for 3 to 5 years with millions of dollars of assets and are keeping up with their financials. They're adults now. They're not teenagers messing around. So you can count on them to get the job done when they say they're going to do that. And they're on the QX. That is the best tier you can be on. They're giving you as much information as you're going to get. audited
like that.
financials, everything. So let's take a look at that chart.
All
Says
right,
I
here
actually
you go.
called this back when it was 49 cents. So when was that?
What was that?
When was 49 cents?
Oh gosh. John, I mean, this is the 49-cent area right here.
Okay,
So,
when's that? I can't see that date on here.
gosh, that's in December, but
Okay.
I'm sure it's been in that area at other times as well.
Right,
Only went back 6 months. So
Which
this could have been 2
49?
years ago. Yeah, which 49? I mean, let's just look. We got time. So this is 3 years right here. An overall downtrend, but it looks like that trend's reversing right here, which is good.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, somebody could have got in at 49 cents back here in this time, and that's July. So it could be that it fell that much, or they bought it when it was building back up. Not sure.
I'm gonna
All
find
right, so here we go.
out. Find out.
Here we go. Well, I don't want to go that close. Let's look at the 4-hour chart. That's important. So right now, what's important is that we were in a downtrend. This is what I've mapped out now. We're in an uptrend, and it's respecting that. In this January timeframe you were talking about, John, this is where it broke out and hit 80 cents. And it tried to hold it. It did really good, and then it gave it all back around the end of January. So it started cooling off, and this is what I mean, you guys, about a chart cooling off, because it was out doing all this stuff, and then bam, it just kind of cools off. And look at the consolidation. But also look at how it's respecting that bottom trend line.
Yeah.
And now we're building back up. This is beautiful. I like this, actually. I don't like the overall chart with the downtrend, but I think, we're in reversal now. We're moving on up.
Right.
Moving on up. Anyway. So,
you go, girl.
So for the last 5 days, 5 minutes. Oh, yeah, I love the Jeffersons. Well, I'm old. Anyway, 49 cents here, going up, trying. It's definitely moving at this point. The more recent movement is in its own little uptrend here, as you can see. I would look for it to, like I said, respect those trend lines. I think it's going to keep building from here. I don't think it's going to come back down to this area for a little bit, but it's a good one. And it could be that our friend Robert got in at the 49 cents right here on April the 6th. If so, he did great, and if you haven't taken gains yet, you could, or you could go ahead and set a stop so you don't take any losses on this one. That's a good spot to be in. So there you go. 45 cents was the bottom of the past 20 days. So look how it's built up. It's really nice. I love that the SMAs are on top of each other just beautifully. This is our 13, 50, 100, and 200.
It's a nice setup, and you've got your trend change, which is what we've been waiting for a long time.
Yes, this one looks really nice, actually. So I'm glad you brought that one up, Robert, and I hope, wish you luck with it. Do not take a loss. Do not. There's no reason to if you're in at 49 cents. Don't you do it. Back to you, John.
James, I am trying to bring up your ticker, my friend, but every time I put that in, that's what comes up.
BRRL.
BRRL.
Yeah.
I'll look. One, it's not a penny stock. And two, I don't think that's the one you mean. Let me see. BRLL. How about Barrel Energy, maybe? All right. I'm going to talk about Barrel Energy. If I'm wrong, you put a big old stop up there in the comments, okay?
All right.
The show must go on.
What's the ticker you're looking at, John?
I'm looking at BRLL.
BRLL.
The fit. Barrel Energy.
Okay.
Penny stock on the OTC. Yeah. And you monitor those comments, see if I'm on the wrong buddy.
I will. I'll let you know. I'll stop you.
All right, Brill. They tell us she's an energy company focused on several ventures within the green energy and battery mineral sector. Whatever she's doing. Share structure. 315 million. Financials. Nada. Nothing annually. Nothing quarterly. Disclosures. Nothing since it's been well over a year. All we can say is their financials are caught up. They got both those green ticks. They're current. All their credentials are in good shape. Last thing we got is news. Oh, we got nothing new up there. So that's what was it? BRL you wanted? Because
they didn't. They haven't responded, John. I'm not sure if they're still here or not.
Barrel Energy partners with CDSG on West End Lithium Claims. It sounds like some mining company, and that was way back in November of last year.
I want to say it's Oil Energy. I can't remember. I do remember this ticker because I have a trend line drawn on it from February 2022. So I've looked at it before.
Well, go ahead and look at it.
All right.
I mean, there's only so many different ways you can get Brill wrong. You know, maybe I throw an I in there.
All right. So here we go. The past 6 months, not terrible. I mean, it has been going up, and then we had a breakout to 0.086. But the problem is, I don't like that. This must be faulty. And I don't know, John, this would be a good one to talk about. The last 5 days, 5 minutes. Let's get closer. Why does that happen? I mean, that is all the way down to 0001. Is that a glitch?
You know what I think? I think because I've done it, accidents happen when you put in your purchase and you buy something that, or you sell something you didn't mean to at the wrong price. And it's like, oh no, well, that's on the chart. Whether it was purposely or not, it happened.
So it's not a glitch when you see those, because I don't like seeing that, you know. How did that happen?
No, that's way too deep. That's a stab down to hell there.
Yeah, I think we were sitting around 30-something cents, and then bam, all the way to the floor.
Look at all the volume. Look at all the volume underneath that.
They bought that right up. Bloop. Whatever it was.
Yeah.
So right back to it. So I'm going to kind of ignore that. It was not the norm, I guess you'd say. So the last 20 days, we've been respecting this trend line, staying in it. We're a little bit below it, and then this thing happened. I'm not going to pay attention to it because we have some green bars after that, and it's holding up. And we're sitting at about 34. So 0.034. Yeah. Gosh, that's a 3-cent area, or is it 30 cents? It's so hard to see like that because from the OTC to these stocks, it's different. It looks different to me. But yeah, I mean, it seems to be holding up pretty good. But to be honest, this is the last 3 years here. You can see it hit 85 cents from the floor, like nothing. It was in the doubles, triple zeros. So there was your run in February of 21. And then back down here. So it's really not doing anything. And my thing is with this particular company, I would listen or definitely look at the same sources that John's looking at. If they're not doing anything, I'm gonna put you back on, John. Sorry. If they're not doing anything, don't have anything going for them, they're sitting under $1. I don't like it there. I wouldn't play this one at all. But we could have had the wrong ticker, and if so, we apologize.
Yeah, we work with what we got and extrapolate a little bit.
Couldn't find the other one.
All right, it looks like I
think we covered everything. That never happens.
Oh, it did on the first few days, but that's okay because I do have a stock that I wanted to share with you that you want to keep your eye on. It's already been hot. It's had some runs, but I think you need to watch this. This is NCMI. This is National Sign Media. This is the company that puts the movie previews in the theaters for you. When you're watching a movie and the preview comes up, that's the company that does it. And they make real good money doing this. Now, you got to remember, there was post-COVID and pre-COVID. They were doing like $500 million before COVID.
Oh, wow.
And then they dropped way down. But they're coming back now. Well, I reported it as 2 purchases. You got some filings over here. Ooh, they just came out that 10K today. That's something we're going to want to look at. I said that was a bonus when it came out because their revenues have been growing. So we're going to want to take a look at that. Not now. But we've got an 8K, 13G, 13D, 13D. All these 13s are new investors. They own a percentage of the company. These 2 here are the same ones. This is from Signmark. Signmark, the movie theater company. They bought 25% of this company just last month. And the next one back is the same thing. The same company, Signmark, buying another 27% of this company. So Signmark now is over 50%. But it was that third one that caught my attention, and I got more information on this one here. AMC Entertainment ends up buying 10% of this company. Now, this is the AMC Ape Now they've got two tickers, AMC and APE, so I'm a little confused there. But this is that company, the one that keeps going crazy with game, on the stock market. Well, what I discovered, because I talked about this, somebody made a comment to me, I made a comment back. Well, they brought this to my attention. Adam Aron is the CEO of AMC. Yep. And he says NCM sells ads on theater screens before movie trailers start. We just received 16 million of their shares free. They did not pay for them, per a decades-old AMC NCM contract. It was a payment in lieu of money. AMC did not buy shares. No surprise. The NCM share is not worth much as a takeover NCM by its lenders via bankruptcy. Right, the last piece of news. They filed for bankruptcy, which isn't bad news. It's good news because it came with a restructuring plan and they've already done it. They've taken all their debtors and gave them shares for the money that they owed them, turned them into shareholders. Now they've got no debt. They've got two new investors. And who cares? Who cares if AMC paid for their shares or not? They are now 10% owner in this company. And this is where I think it comes from, the catalyst. AMC has got a huge following, a very large following.
Oh, yeah.
And you could, if you look at the volume yesterday, she did just under 1/10 of all the volume on the OTC market. She stole almost 1/10 of it, one company. And there's not very much volume on the markets as it is. So other companies were struggling yesterday because she was getting all the activity. Well, where did all that activity come from? I'm presuming the APE investors. I think they're watching this. Now it goes.
Oh, yeah.
Advertising, and they have a movie theater. They're even advertising to the investors in the movie theaters. The AMC guy comes and says, thank you, as you're watching a movie. It's you investors that have saved us. You brought us from the brink of death. And we're doing this and we're doing that. So, I mean, it is a big deal. He's got a huge following, and this stock could get a lot of hot, off and on, volatile activity just because
I can see it.
It's their business. They're going to make money on their own advertising now. And I think they just put out 2 movies. I think it's in the news here. You had 2 movies that did blockbuster ratings just the other day. What were they? Mario Brothers and John Wick 4. 73 million and 204 million. I remember one movie did $1 billion. So they got a long ways to go. But they're getting paid for the advertisements on these movies. They're not making the movies. They're getting paid for the advertisements. So it just seems like a win-win-win situation. And since APE has got so many investors, I just think it's worth watching. She's already proven that volume can be there in a heartbeat and get this thing running. Do you want to share us the chart on that?
We got a lot to talk about here. And the reason why I say this is because I took you back a little bit further, probably even further back than you went. So this is a 5-year chart. And the reason why I did this, I wanted to see where this company fell during the whole COVID crash and all that stuff. So that's where this line comes in. You see it came down, a little bit lower, but it came down here. It bounced here. And now you see where the resistance is. This line is very important.
Yes.
Because if we think this is going to be a thing, you need to know around $1.80, $1.90, you're going to have a lot of sell and resistance here. But hey, until then, so let's look closer. The last 6 months, 4-hour chart, you can see right there. See how it challenged it? Could not. And then really no news, whatever that was, but no news, kind of dropping off, hitting down in the 10-cent area, just nothing. And then all of a sudden, boom, pretty much what John's talking about. So this could really try to climb, especially if it keeps that kind of volume. You see that? That's crazy, you guys. So right now, it's respecting the uptrend. It was sitting at like 12 cents, around 12 cents.
Yes. And
we hit 64 cents. So it broke out a little bit, came back in, but it's still in this channel, in this trend, and it's still in an uptrend. Very possible it can do more just because of this news, just because it's tied to AMC.
Yeah.
And just because it's a little bit cheaper. So the AMC apes, and it could very well be the apes are just throwing in money there too, because why not? It's cheap. Let's see what we can do with it. They're willing to do it.
They just came out with a financial, which we haven't had time to jump into. I'm sure a lot of people haven't. That just came out today.
Yeah.
And I said to everybody, their financials are growing. They're getting bigger. If this is bigger, it's going to be a catalyst on top of everything else.
Yeah. So as it climbs, if it keeps on, and let's say it reclaims that dollar, whatever's happening, and it's going to take a little while, but let's just say we could have some trouble in this 60 cents area, because that's where we're at right now. As soon as it gets over that and starts holding, starts climbing back towards this $1.80, $1.85 range, you can look for problems there too. So just be aware of that. And who knows, it might just keep going. You can make some good gains here. I would definitely keep an eye on this one. That's a nice find, John.
Yeah, well, it was standing out there. Actually, I found that strictly by jumping into a filing. There was no news.
Nice.
I just go over at the OTC market all through the day. I am over here, and this is where the news comes in. As soon as the news comes out, you got to refresh the page. It pops up here. But down here at the bottom, they're doing the same thing with filings. And all I do is just open up an 8K and I look for that first line here. And if it doesn't say material change, I'm out of here. And I pop out. And I found that for AMC, and it's like, oh, that's juicy news. People are going to be interested in this. And it wasn't news, but I made it news, and I put a post out there about it.
I think it's good. Good eye on that one. And even if it is hype, you guys, there's nothing wrong with playing that chart. If you have that kind of volume, play. And it looks like James Parker came back, so he wants us to look at WDLF.
Got it up for you, my friend.
Let's do it. And this will probably be our last one, you guys, so hope you all enjoyed. Go ahead.
This is Decentral Life, WDLF. They help organizations to create media sites. They have one for hunting, fishing, camping, motor racing, racket sports. And these are places where people of like mind come and chat. But what they've done is they've brought in businesses into the same app. So if you're a hunter and you're talking about these sort of bows and arrows, you can probably buy them here. There's probably somebody connected into this app. And they were going to spin off their hunting one. That was going to be spun off by itself. That was a while ago. They also had plans of uplisting. That was a while ago. I've got a friend who's been in this for quite a while, and I have watched him go through the roles, waiting for things to happen. Let's see what we got for share structure for WDF. Oh, my God. I did not know she had that many shares. 7.2 billion shares. Too many shares, folks. You know what that means. If the price is low and they start to get any success and they get that price up near a penny or something, they're going to be itching to be on a better market. And that's when you're going to have your reverse split. As soon as they show any growth and success, what do you mean a reverse split? I was just starting to make money. Yeah, that's the way it goes. Let's see for disclosures. Anything going on? Financials. Wow. They got lots of 8Ks coming out here. Bunches of them. I'm not going to dive into all of these. That one is for the earnings report. I just, quick glance in, quick glance out. What do we got here? Other events. This is earnings report video. If words aren't good enough for you, there's their earnings report. You can just dive into that. And February, this is to be the last one, a video podcast. So see how quick you can get in and out of those 8Ks? So you can just blur in and out very quickly. News. Looking at this year, launches Marketplace 3.0 for TBI licenses in preparation of 2022 e-commerce growth. TBI licenses. Have they gotten into something new to be rolled out to be like during the month of December, starting hunting, fishing, camping, community, social marketplace? No. Etsy, who trades, are they still talking about uplisting? That's what I'm looking for here. Hunt, Post, and Power Sportsman. So they are still wanting to get Hunt Post out there. That's what they call that one. That has been their biggest success. They've also got some tokens. I haven't followed this. Tokens, folks, is another way to invest in the company digitally. And tokens normally focus in on a particular area of the company. Facebook could come out with a token. Well, not Facebook. Let's say Amazon. Amazon comes out with the token for their drone sector. Well, Amazon could crash, but the drone sector be doing well. Your tokens would be strong while the stock was falling, because that's what tokens do. They support very tight sectors of a business. So they've got that going on too. Some more DD is going to be necessary here. Did we cover everything? I think we did. So, financials. That's the important part. They've been talking about money. Let's see. They've taken a jump here. That's nice.
Looks like it's improving. Yeah.
Yeah, it's about 3 times as much, right? Quarterly. Yep. Ooh, darn it. They're all over the place. I mean, really. Yeah. Now, so is our economy. And you're dealing with you're dealing with marketplaces online where you're buying sports equipment or, non-essentials. Let's put it that way. And during this time period, a lot of people are focused on essentials. There's a lot of things we're not spending money on right now, no matter how good the deal is. So you're going to find a lot of companies just not making a lot of money because we don't have it to spend. So let's take a look at this ticker WDLF.
All right, here you go. So I've charted this one. I'm not sure when, but these blue lines go back about 3 years, which was an uptrend. And this right here from the recent high of 000 or 0033, and then it's in a downtrend, is lost the uptrend.
Yeah.
And it did touch the 0008, and James is right, it's sitting at about 0.0012. So to be honest, I don't like it right here, but it doesn't mean there isn't something coming. There isn't some movement coming. I would like to see more volume. And I'm going to get a little bit closer, 5 days. There's really nothing's happening just yet, but we see, and they are coming out. They're separating right here, our oscillators, but right here, the right. 13 is headed towards the 50, and we did finish on a green candle. So maybe I would keep an eye on it.
Looks like she's trying to do a breakout that she could recover from that huge point where she dropped from.
Yeah, just trying to build up. And if it can do that, then okay. If not, then it could be more of the same. And then we have to keep in mind, if we play this one, that it is in a downtrend currently. But that doesn't mean it'll stay that way. You can see it right here. But so there's a possibility right here.
Just because a stock is in a downtrend doesn't mean it doesn't have an up bounce.
And I want to see how it finished today. Oh, I'm sorry, John.
No, go for it.
Green candle. So 5 minutes. I mean, okay, maybe. But I think you have some time here. I don't think there's a rush. Let's see what this 13, or if you use the 9 MA, let's see what it's going to do when it approaches the 50. Is it going to get rejected? And if so, it'll settle back down and it'll keep doing this consolidation right here.
I like the PPO and the ADX at the bottom.
Yeah, I do like that. I did notice that. So they're moving away from each other. So it's possible we have a buildup happening right here. So keep an eye on it. But it doesn't mean that it's going to just go crazy and reclaim this 000 or 0014. It could have problems around the 0013. We could just do a lot of consolidation right here. We don't know just yet, but keep an eye on it. And there you go.
James Parker drops a bomb on us here. I'm presuming he's talking about WDLF still. He says there's going to be a reverse split. Let me get that out of your face. Sorry.
Well, I wouldn't want to be in it for that. I wouldn't want to be in it for that. I'd wait till after.
So he says it'll go to a nickel with a one. Now, are you just talking? He may not be saying it. He may be in the conversation. We were talking about them doing a reverse split when they got to a profitable zone, when they started looking good. So he may not be saying they're doing one, but if they did, that would be it.
Yeah, if they are, I would not want to be involved until afterwards.
I am just disgusted by the reverse splits. I have got so many reverse splits, and there's nothing worse than seeing a stock go up 100%. You see, you've only got 40 shares left, and your average price is $8, and it's up to 8 cents. What can you do?
Yeah,
it's just reverse splits. All they're doing is saying you're going to give us more money if you want to stay with us, because you're going to lose money after a reverse split. There's no way you come out ahead if you're already in. You can't do it. Not unless it continues climbing after the reverse split.
And they better have some really good news for that to happen. Especially in this market. Now, February 21,
I'd like to say 1 out of 10, but I think it's less than that off of a reverse split, bounce back up. Maybe a week or 2 weeks later.
Sometimes they run a little bit and they'll give it all back and then some. So I just don't like being in them beforehand. I like to analyze what's happening afterwards before I make that decision. So, but yeah, if it is a reverse split, just be careful with that and understand what you're playing and how to play it and what's best for you. It's always everybody's a different trader, but protect your capital, you guys.
Yeah, thanks.
We're not telling you what to do.
Yeah, we're only sharing our opinion. Neither one of us are licensed. We can't tell you what to do. We're just telling you what we would do. If you want to follow that, that's great. But we're just supposed to be the tip of the iceberg for you.
I actually thought about getting licensed, John, but you know what's so bad about that? If you do, you can't talk to these lovely people like we're doing right now. It's really hard.
See?
Yeah. I was going to do it.
No.
No, I love this.
I'll stay unlicensed. But
anyway, guys,
we will see you again next week. Same channel, same time.
John, thank you for having me.
Oh,
I always enjoy doing these. Oh, well, you know, being your guest. I'm always your guest. I know you may prefer.
You're my co-host. You have been with me from the start. Yeah. When we ever have someone else come in, they're replacing you.
Oh, is that what it is?
You. You're a fixture here.
Oh, okay.
You're like a toilet seat. There's no compromise. I
don't want to be compared to that. I am a lady.
That's it, folks.
Thank y'all so much. I'll see y'all next Thursday.
Bye.
Bye. So bad.
I didn't end it.